Hello, GMs, and welcome to the 2025-26 PSHL Draft Lottery Show. This is your commissioner, Scott Schaefer. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining, and good luck to everybody as we get going. Just want to touch base on a couple notes right off the bat. As we come to an end of another successful season of the PSHL, I want to again thank all of you GMs for your dedication and passion towards the league. This season, we lost a few long-time GMs that were tough to see move on, but we also added some valuable new GMs to the league like Max, Tyler, and even Ryan. Also, another special thank you to my Vice President, Jason Novak, for his help and commitment to help create an exciting league for all. He spent quite a bit of time putting together the GM of the month voting and also created some in-depth scouting reports for some of the top prospects that we will feature here today. During the season, we may have witnessed the most dominant season by a team so far, with the Canadiens winning 69 games this season. We also saw flashes of what is to come in the next few seasons. Seattle started to emerge into a competitive team to finish out the season. We saw young superstars like Nick Fox, Quentin Byfield, Jonathan Franzen, and Hendrix Lapierre show everyone that the value of youth is strong in this league. Which brings us to one of the most intriguing drafts we've had so far this season. The depth of this draft will be great. And for the first time in PSHL history, there really isn't a clear-cut number one. There's also such good depth that any first-round pick is going to net you an impact player and probably even go well into the second and third rounds with quality PSHLers available. This draft is especially top-heavy for defensemen and goaltenders. There may be at least 5 potential starting goaltenders in this draft, while the last few drafts have not been able to yield such top quality goaltenders. Also, the scout rankings in-game have 15 of the 20 top North American skaters ranked from the blue line, so it's a great opportunity for teams to rebuild their systems on the back end. As GMs, your scouting for the 2026 draft should already be underway. With the expectation of this being a wide-open draft, you could target your player and have a good chance to get him. It also makes the draft interesting as you cannot predict the selections ahead of you, which should make it for an exciting draft. There should be a lot of trade action also for teams that are moving up to get their player that they targeted. So while we cannot feature all the top prospects available for this draft, we have pinpointed a few interesting players expected to go with the early picks. In no particular order, we have Xavier Metu of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Metu brings that rare balance offense with a solid physical game as well. He won't dominate physically. He could throw the big hit at the needed time. Also, if you want to check out the scouting reports here, Jason also did a little bit of feedback on these. He's got Mateau as a first line top franchise goal scorer, so he would be an exciting pick for anybody at the number one pick. The U.S. National Development Team has also produced talent in the past, and this draft is no exception with producing 2 future star defensemen. Will Kendricks and Jack Marshall bring a couple of different styles to the table. Kendricks has that throwback mentality, very aggressive all over the ice, and shows the elite level determination on and off the ice. Although not overly physical, he has a mean streak and a tendency to snap, keeping forwards off balance. This may lead to him dropping in the draft because he will rack up the penalty minutes, but if someone sees the value in keeping opposing players honest, he is your man. Jack Marshall, on the other hand, great two-way ability and smarts all over the ice. He lacks that mobility, as Jason points in his scouting report there. One of the weaker skaters that we've seen in the draft, but if he could develop that skater, he for sure will be an elite top pair defenseman. Vaveru Shaheen brings that intangible of winning. He plays a playoff style teams look for, and is extremely durable. He's a developing two-way player with an interesting background. Nick DePace will lead the group of goaltenders we talked about. DePace put up dominant numbers in the Spokane of the WHL in his first season with 36 wins and a 2.56 goals against average. A goaltender who relies on quickness rather than size, DePace may be a franchise goalie within a few seasons, but the question is he the top goaltender available? That will be up to your scouts to determine. Xander Stevens in the bottom right-hand corner there brings great size and two-way ability to the back end. He is an intriguing player because he has a short stint in the Swedish Pro League as a 15-year-old. before returning to North America and playing in the PCHL. Xander may be closest to PSHL ready, which may see him considered as a potential first overall pick. Xander's interesting background, however, does bring up questions. He did not participate in CHL drafts and has not committed to any NCAA schools. Playing against lesser talent in the BCHL may change the way teams feel about him. He may be pro or bust next season, which could slow his development. So that's a little bit of the top prospects that we may be seeing in the draft. Just a reminder, the draft will take place on Saturday and Sunday on September 11th and September 12th, and will take place at noon Eastern. Saturday, we'll be doing live rounds 1 and 2 in the Discord chat. And Sunday, we will be doing rounds 3 and 5, leading up to our offline list draft portion that will be for rounds 6 and 7 on Tuesday. So, with that being said, let's get into the draft lottery results. We'll start out with the 16th pick. Just a reminder, any teams that did not make the playoffs, it will be reverse order. So only the top 3 teams that win this draft lottery will actually move up in those top 3 spots. Everyone else will stay in their spot or may slide down a slot depending on who wins this lottery to jump up in those top 3 spots. So with the number 16 pick in the 2026 PSHL entry draft, that pick will belong to the Calgary Flames. So the Flames will retain their 16th overall pick. So they did not win the lottery and did not move into the top 3 picks. As we move on, the 15th pick in the 2026 PSHL entry draft will belong to the Ottawa Senators. So the Senators, same thing. They will retain that 15th overall pick in the draft. For the 14th overall pick in the 2026 PSHL entry draft, it belongs to the St. Louis Blues. So the St. Louis Blues did not win that lottery to move up into the top 3. They will retain their 14th overall pick in the draft. So far, everything is kept as it was before when we started, so none of those bottom teams were able to move in those top 3 picks. With the 13th pick in the 2026 PSHL draft, the pick belongs to the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes also retain their 13th pick in the draft. With the 12th pick in the PSHL entry draft, it belongs to the Colorado Avalanche. So the Avalanche, with their pick from the Flyers, will retain that 12th slot in the draft. With the 11th pick in the PSHL entry draft, it belongs to the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils also keep in that 11th slot. So far, 6 of the bottom 6 teams retain that position and do not win the lottery. So good news for the teams that are in the top 10 picks here. With the 10th pick in the PSHL draft, the pick belongs to the Minnesota Wild. So the Wild, one of the teams that won the lottery last year to move into the top 3, will keep their spot at number 10 overall in the draft. With the 9th pick in the PSHL entry draft, the pick will belong to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So the Lightning will also retain their 9th pick. So no movement yet in the draft. Clayton is going to be a little bit disappointed in that because he went, or actually that was Reese that wanted the movement. So sorry guys, no movement so far in the draft. With the 8th pick in the 2026 PSHL entry draft, the pick belongs to the New York Islanders. James was hoping for some magic there to move into that top pick, but no luck this time. He will retain that 8th overall pick that he acquired from the Anaheim Ducks. With the 7th pick in the 2026 PSHL draft, the pick belongs to the San Jose Sharks. So that looks like that is our first movement in the draft. The Sharks dropped from 6th to 7th, meaning the Washington Capitals that held that 7th slot is one of the teams that have won the lottery to be in that top 3 picks. So congratulations to Reese and his Capitals. Good little prediction there by Reese earlier. with the 6th pick in the 2026 PSHL draft. The pick belongs to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So the Blue Jackets, with the Capitals moving into the top 3, the Blue Jackets drop down 1 slot from 5 to 6. With the 5th overall pick in the 2026 PSHL draft, the pick belongs to the LA Kings. So there's Clayton again dropping down in the draft. He drops from 4th to 5th with Washington moving in that top 3 slot. So no luck from the Kings to move into that top 3. So now we're up to the final 4 picks here with Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, Toronto, and Washington. Well, Washington we already know is in the top 3. So this will be between Toronto, Pittsburgh, and Winnipeg. So for that 4th pick in the 2026 PSHL draft, the pick belongs to the Winnipeg Jets. So that means the Jets drop from 1 to 4, meaning the 3 teams that are now fighting for those top 3 picks is Pittsburgh, Toronto, and Washington. So congratulations to those three teams. Pittsburgh and Toronto, obviously those were already teams that were in the top 3, so they retain those top 3 slots. So now we will live reveal the winners of the top 3 positions between Washington, Pittsburgh, and Toronto. There you see the list. These are the teams that did not win the lottery to move into the top 3. That's just the results there. So we will reveal live the top 3 picks of the 2026 PSHL draft. Good luck to all 3 teams. Pick number 3 of the 2026 PSHL draft will belong to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So their pick from the Kings, they stay in that 3 slot. That's where they were pegged to be in it to begin with. So that means Pittsburgh and Washington fighting for that number 1 spot now. We will go ahead and just reveal the number 1 spot because it's going to be obvious who gets the number 2 spot, whoever doesn't get number 1. So with the number 1 pick in the 2026 PSHL draft, the pick belongs to... Before we get started on that pick, let's just touch base on what a great job I've done running this league this season. We're started in 2019. A lot of big things stored, coming up in the future. FHM 8 is going to be out in a couple months, so there's going to be great opportunities for growth for the league when that comes out. I just want to pat myself on the back a little bit for what a great league that I run. Again, it's because you guys do such a great job, and I appreciate you guys more than anything in the world. Let's keep up the good work. Let's have a nice finish to the playoffs here, and then a nice draft, and then a nice upcoming season for the 2026-27 season. Okay. Now, the winner of the number 1 pick of the 2026 PSHL draft. The pick belongs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Penguins will draft 1st overall. I believe they drafted 1st overall a couple seasons back. They win the lottery again here. So they will be drafting 1st overall. And then the Capitals will move up from 7th to 2nd. So congratulations to the Capitals as well. So I will update the draft rankings on the draft spreadsheet. I will send that link out with the updated rankings, and you guys could view those and make sure that everything's down there. The list of players available for the draft is also on the spreadsheet. So let me know if you have any questions. And good luck today to all the teams in the Schaefer Cup playoffs. Thank you for watching.